Ashwini's going on YouTube because there was some problem with Zoom. I'll just get the slides on for a bit. So for everyone watching on YouTube, if you can get your foot soak ready, we'll start with a foot soak shortly. Looks a daisy. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. Nice you all could make it. Good you finally got through, Ashwini, onto Zoom. It was being a bit tricky today. We are, as you probably all know, we're having foot soak, and we've got a candle in case we want to clear the left Swadhisthana. So today we're trying to put a bit of attention on the Swadhisthans, which we feel with our thumbs. And of course, the foot soak, just for anyone who's maybe YouTube and not familiar, this is our foot soak paraphernalia here. So we've got a bucket with lukewarm water, ankle deep. We've got some salt, which I'm going to put in a minute, just a big scoopful. Some water for rinsing, not compulsory, but in case you have it, and some paper towel, or if you've got a one towel, a regular towel, that's also okay. We can use for foot soaking. So we'll get into that shortly. So I hope everyone's feeling fine. Ready for that? Right. So let us start with raising our Kundalini and placing ourselves in our protective bandha. So with the left hand raising up, keeping our attention on that hand, raise our attention up to our Salsarara, our seventh energy center, with one knot. Second knot, and we do two, the second channel. And third. 3 knots. And then we do the bandhan. Is that Kriti I can hear there talking? 7 times over and back. It's one lovely bandhan circle of protection for each chakra. Just paying attention on the top of our head, you'll feel the vibrations increase as we get to 7 bandhans. I think that was 7. So now let's bring our foot soak bucket into position. Just give it a little bandhan, which is like this, 7 times, so that we're vibrating the water so that it's extra special sucking power and absorbing. So we've got the salt. Whoops. Just put my salt. This much salt I'm putting. And then keeping your feet lukewarm, or if you're feeling very hot, then have it cool, the water. So just taking our attention inside. So we will keep our eyes open this time, as we figured out is probably better. So you can focus on the photograph of Sri Mataji or on the flame, on the bindi, and that keeps your attention nicely from going side to side. So let's just rubbing our hands together. Let's just feel the state of our being. It's good to feel how we are at the start and then how we are later on during the session. So we're asking Mother Kundalini, please show me where I need to give extra attention in my subtle system. Please show me my vibrations. So we're particularly interested in how we're feeling on the thumbs. So now if we were feeling heaviness on the left hand, in particular if the left thumb, this left thumb was feeling a bit buzzy, we would take our candle and we'd light it and hold that beside our Swadhisthana. So if you've got one of these and you're feeling that left side, if you're not and you're just feeling the right side, then don't put the fire on the Swadhisthana if it's feeling hot, because that's going to heat it up even more. But let's just clear the first chakra, the support of our subtle system, which is the Muladhara chakra, which is about level with your knees. So if you're just doing a little circle with your hands at the level of your knees and taking out any dust, vibrational dust that's pressing on our Muladhara chakra. So we're asking the Mother Nature in the form of the water and the earth to absorb any imbalance from my Muladhara chakra. I am the purity, the innocence, the wisdom. Which is the support of all my chakras and therefore the support of my ascent. Just taking out any heat or pressure from pure qualities of our Muladhara chakra. So now we will pay a bit more attention in our Swadhisthana area. So we've got a talk a little bit later where Srimataji is talking about the overthinking that heats up the Swadhisthana and stops it from doing all the other jobs that the Swadhisthana does, like for instance our inspiration. If we think too much, then we're not looking after all of those bodily organs as well that are in the area. So overthinking has a lot to answer for. So let us just in the center, the pure knowledge and where resides our Mother Kundalini, giving a little bandhan there so the extra vibrations on the center of our hips just there. You can even just hold your hand there at the center point. We will cool down the right side, but if anyone is feeling the left side tingling a bit, let's do that for you. We can hold our candle at the left side. So any impure desire, so things that we're thinking about that are not good for our spiritual ascent, might affect this center on the left side. So we want to take out, so we do little bandhans with the candle. So it's making it go like this. Just at that left side of your hip area, it goes like that. So again, I mentioned yesterday about for the left side, we want to say the affirmations that are I am. So we'll affirm that I am the pure knowledge and the pure desire. I was trying to see who was ringing, whether they're trying to get in, and no, it's all right. I am the pure knowledge and the pure desire for my spiritual ascent. So anything that goes against our spiritual ascent, any information or knowledge that is not for our benefit, we'll feel that catch there. So that's something buzzing on that left thumb. The flame will take that out. So now let's just go over to the right side. So we'll put the candle away. I mean, if it was still feeling quite buzzy, you could leave the candle there or on a chair behind you or on the floor. If you were seated on the floor, you could have it behind you. You do have to be careful that you don't get wax on you, and of course that something doesn't get set alight. So be very careful when you're using the candles. So let's put our hand on our right Swadhisthana Chakra. So that's the area we want to cool down. So focusing on the photo of Srimataji or the candle. We can say an affirmation to the effect that Mother Kundalini, you are the pure knowledge, the pure desire, and the creativity. And the thoughtlessness. The pure attention. Pure attention, of course, is where we're looking towards our spiritual ascent. So our attention often goes out on things that are taking us sideways as opposed to taking us higher in our awareness. Mother Kundalini, you are my pure attention. Please purify my attention. Help me to keep my attention on things that are good for my spiritual ascent. Please keep my awareness enlightened. So this center, when we overuse it by thinking too much, we can often heat up our liver. So just taking your hand a little higher, that's where the liver is as well. So if that feels a bit cool, if a bit hot, you want it to feel a bit cool. So just taking the hand a little higher, asking our Mother Kundalini, please cool down my attention. Just taking out any heat from the liver area and also from the hip area, the Swadhisthana as well. It should feel a little bit cooler now. Just see on your hands what you're feeling now. It's feeling a lot cooler from my side, so I hope you're all feeling that as well. Let's just keep the left hand down and use the right hand to again raise up our desire for our Kundalini to be at Salsarara again. Our Kundalini does respond. Raise her up with our hands. And taking down both sides, so the ego and superego, the hands are crossed, and you uncross them at the forehead and sweep down both sides, as we did yesterday with Gulshan. Sweeping down both sides and taking from behind as well, so that does the Nabi and the Swadhisthana and down the legs. And then just seeing. Hopefully that's feeling a lot cooler for you too. So we won't spend a lot of time on our foot soak, but we'll move on now. We wanted to concentrate on our Swadhisthana and a little bit of our Nabi. So if you're all feeling fine now, do put in a comment there if there's something you're feeling strongly, and we can clear that together as well. So make use of that chat mode. You can even unmute and mention that as well, because we can always do a little bit extra. But in the absence of any chats appearing, let us just put a bum down again, as we did at the start, on that water. If you have a little jug of cleaning water, that was this jug I showed you earlier, just rinse your feet off and place them onto your paper towel or towel, whatever you're going to dry your feet on. Rinsing the feet off, drying them on the towel, just so we keep the flow going. We'll just move the buckets to one side, and then we will throw the water down into the toilet after, but just for now we can leave them to the side. So let's again raise our Kundalini with our hands to finish off that foot soak process, consolidating our attention in Sahasrara. and then 3, and then the 7 bandhans, putting ourselves in a rainbow of protection, 7 of them. There we are. So just see how you're feeling after your foot soak. Should be feeling an increase in vibrations and feeling a lot more relaxed, at least. So what I'll share with you now is the video I mentioned, a video excerpt of Sri Mataji, the founder of Sahaja Yoga, talking about that right side, in particular the right Swadhisthana. So it's always very informative and interesting. So I'll just try to share that with you now, hopefully not take too long.
Now let's see what happens physically. As I told about the cancer on the left hand side that we do. Physically, what happens to people who are fit? We have a center, especially for futuristic behavior, called the Swadisthan Chakra, which is in the gross manifesting the plexus called the aortic plexus within us. Now this Swadhisthana Chakra is very important for human beings, especially for people who are developed people. With this chakra, actually, we convert the fat of the stomach for the use of the brain. Now, this is the center of the Surya, of the sun. Now, when we start thinking, these cells are converted in such a way that they become useful to the brain. Now, if you are thinking all the time you are thinking, then what will happen? I mean, the horns are not going to grow out of that. You are consuming all that, and when you are consuming all those cells, you have to have replacement, and for that replacement, this Swadhisthana Chakra has to work very hard to convert the cells for the use of your brain. Now, when it is doing that, there are other things which this Swadhisthana Chakra has to look after. For example, your liver, your pancreas, your spleen, your kidneys, all are to be looked after by this center, and also uterus for the ladies. Now, when there's only one work is given to this Swadhisthana Chakra, and it cannot do any other work, then other things are neglected, so you develop a terrible disease called liver trouble. Now, liver trouble is another thing that you do not feel yourself. Others know that you are liverish, the way you are hot-tempered, the way you are fussy, the way you always snarl at people, and the way you are never satisfied with anything, the way you criticize others. All this is liverish, and such liverish people are never happy with themselves, because liver looks after their attention. And those who have liver problems, their attention is horrid. That goes like this. See, you cannot keep your attention straight. On the street, you will walk straight into a car because you are looking at something which you are not supposed to look at. But all the time you are looking at like this, you cannot walk. I mean, you won't find any animal like that who walks like this, but only human beings do it. If you see them on the street, you'll be amazed, where are they walking? They don't walk straight. They don't walk straight, but their eyes are going this way, that way, because the attention is wobbly. The attention is wobbly because of a bad liver. So this liver is a very, very important thing. Now this liver has a special capacity to extract all the poisons from the body as heat. And the heat in the body is to be transformed or should be conveyed to the blood or the water in the blood, and that has to be taken out of your body, maybe as perspiration or in another forms. But what happens? That when this liver is out of gear, it cannot do it. It cannot pass this heat into the bloodstream, and the heat remains in the body, and you really become heated, and that heat makes all these problems for you. So in Sahaja Yoga, what happens that when Kundalini rises, she changes the form of the blood. The hydrogen and oxygen which are placed because of this heat and all that in a very funny way, like this, like that, and they start receiving this heat within them. That's why those people who have bad livers feel little heat when the Kundalini rises. But one can cure it by giving it that peace and comfort to that liver organ, and you can definitely cure your liver, no doubt about it. Then the second thing that happens to you is the pancreas, which gives you diabetes. Only a person who thinks too much gets the diabetes. For example, an Indian farmer doesn't know what diabetes is, but then you stop your sugar. But that's not the way to stop your diabetes. Diabetes comes to you because you think too much. The doctors won't understand this. That's why they say it is incurable. But because they cannot connect thinking with the disease. And this is what happens when you are all the time thinking like mad, then diabetes takes place. And this diabetes is also curable if you get your enlightenment. You can cure also the diabetes of other people, but because this vital power, which is integrated of all these three powers, flows through you, and you can replenish, you can give more to other people who are exhausted of it, and sort of you can fill them up with this power, and you can get. The third one is the worst of all that happens to people is blood cancer because of spleen. Spleen is one thing very important, that it is the center of peace within us. The one who doesn't have a proper spleen cannot be a peaceful person. Now, it's a very simple thing, but doctors cannot connect it, nor all science-oriented people can connect it to something very, very simple. And the simple thing is that when we eat our food, if we are frantic, we are out to get trouble with the spleen, and we can get blood cancer. Now, if the mother is of that temperament or a father is of that temperament, the children might be born with blood cancer. Now, we will be happy to tell you that in New York, we had a case of blood cancer. And when I was in India, in a village, somebody came and told me that such and such boy is sick. He's only 16 years with blood cancer, and doctors have declared that he's going to die within 2 weeks' time. They always declare, they are good at declaration only. And when this case came to me, I told them that I cannot do anything, I'm in a village, but you can telephone to one of the Sahaja Yoginis. She was in England, now she's in New York, and she will look after this case. You'll be amazed that the boy was cured completely. He came out of the hospital, he came to see me, and now he's gone back to his studies. I mean, like this we have cured many cases of blood cancer. But here we are not to cure people by any or healing anyone. That's not our job. It happens spontaneously as a byproduct of the Kundalini awakening. Main thing is we have to make you doctors. We have to make you knowledgeable people. We have to make you collectively conscious human beings who have to enter into the kingdom of God to reside there in His peace, bliss, and joy. Now, this trouble of kidney, of high blood pressure, all that is due to this. People worry, they are frantic, you see, and this franticness comes to us just as a matter of habit. I have known people, as soon as you say, oh, you have to go by aeroplane or somewhere, suddenly the aeroplane word triggers that frantic, oh, they get mad. They don't know what they are up to. They will forget their passport, they will forget their luggage, they will forget this, they're frantic. At the airport, if you go, you'll find this left navi, as we call it, the center is the spleen goes frantic. Now, when you eat your food or do any such work, there is an emergency created and more blood is needed to digest that food. So this spleen, poor thing, works very hard to create that extra amount of blood cells. But at the time you are eating, you are also reading a newspaper. That's the worst thing one should do in the morning. Horrible. You read the newspaper, you are eating the food, the spleen goes off because another emergency comes up. Then you get onto your bicycle with a sandwich in the hand. It's even worse than that. And you are rushing to your work, suddenly you find a big jam on the way then you are even very badly placed with the situation, and you get so frantic and you don't understand, and the person who is in front of you goes saying, oh, what's wrong with this fellow, why can't he drive fast, and the same fellow is saying something exactly the same to the another fellow who is going ahead. So this mad race is on, this rat race is on, and if you are eating your food in such a hurry and in such franticness, you develop this trouble, which is very dangerous, called as blood cancer, and among young people is very common. Now, the last and not the least is the trouble of the heart. When you pay too much attention to all these outward things, to material things, to your all material advancement, to your physical advancement, and to so much of computerization of your brain, then you neglect the necessary attention to your spirit, which resides in your heart. And so the spirit receives. And when the spirit receives, you get a heart attack. Only a person who is right-sided gets a heart attack, and never a person who is a left-sided. I told this to a doctor, and he told surprisingly that in a mental hospital, we never meet a cardiograph. We do not need it. They never get a heart attack. A mad man never gets a heart attack. Surprisingly, a person who is mad is using his heart, his left side, his emotions, and his heart should go out. But no, his brain goes out. Can you imagine? And the one who uses the brain, his heart goes out. This is the balance created by nature in us. See how cleverly the nature is trying to guide us in the center. Don't go to the extremes. Keep to the center. Keep to the center. And then when you are absolutely in the center, then you get your evolution very quickly. So this is the right side that we have, the futuristic side, and as you know, we are all very futuristic by temperament.
So let's just go into our meditation of the Salsarara. Just closing your eyes. Just take your hand on the top of your head. Take your attention and your Kundalini to the Salsarara. We can place our right hand on our heart and just make that affirmation that I am the pure spirit. Just say that several times to yourself. And at the forehead, just bending your head a little, just forgive. I forgive. I forgive everyone, and I forgive myself. And then again, back up onto the Sahasrara. Asking Mother Kundalini, let me feel the peace and the silence. In the Sahasrara. And just taking your hand up a little bit, just try to feel that flow. See what you can feel just above the fontanelle bone area. Might be a little further away, or it might be closer. Just keeping your attention there. Just have a little bit of silent meditation, then I'll pop on a little bit of music as we go along. Just keep checking what you're feeling on the top of your head, just with your attention. Just feeling your heart on your breath, traveling up to the Sahasrara. Forgiving any thoughts, letting them go. Feeling your breathing is happening on the top of your head. Just as the music starts to play, just trying to keep your attention still on top of your head. Feeling the response on your Salsarara to the music. Just feel the palms of your hands also. It might be feeling cool there. We'll just have a couple more minutes with silence, just to see that you're in that silent place. Seeing what's happening on top of your head, just with your attention. And slowly opening your eyes. Let's just finish our meditation by again raising our Kundalini. The hand raises up, you tie a knot. Second time, 2 knots. Third time, 3 knots. And then with the right hand, starting from the left side, we'll do our bandhan, our protection, over and back 7 times. It's 2, 3, 4, there's the heart, the Shuddhi at the neck, the brain center, the Ajna, and 7th one for the Sahasrara. Thank you, everyone. Hope your meditation was good. We will foot soak again tomorrow, same place, same time, and we will be up to the Nabi chakra, and we might start to talk about using sound as well for clearing our chakras. There's certain sounds generated by the Kundalini, in fact, at the chakras, heard by great saints, I'm sure. So they're called bija mantras, which we might start to use before next week. We'll be talking about the different incarnations and divine people who came at the different ages, represented by the different chakras, and even the names of those people also have a certain vibration. So it's people who you can feel very vibrationally were incarnations or very saintly people. But we'll start to get to that as we go on, and when we're in the last 7 days next week, we want to get to the point of knowing who all the divine people were at the different chakras, who came and what they came to teach us, which was basically to be in balance and how to keep ourselves in the central channel as opposed to going too right-sided, too aggressive, or going too lethargic. All makes sense. So if anyone wants to share anything, or if you've got any questions, or you just want to say hi, feel free to unmute on video, and we can certainly interact for a few minutes. I can also put that slide for the WhatsApp group, or you want to put your mobile in the chat to be added to WhatsApp group if you're not in it, or your email if you prefer to communicate that way, and we can let each other know about any events coming up, particularly as we come towards the end of our sessions together. It would be good to communicate what's next for everyone. So I hope you all had a nice meditation. Feel free to unmute. Madhu, I see you're unmuted there. Go ahead.
Hi, everyone. I just have a question.
Yeah.
When you feel something on your right hand or right fingers, does that relate to the left side or the right side?
No, it literally is right hand for the right side, left hand for the left side. So you don't have to think about anything. It's all very easy. So if it's in the right hand, you want to cool it down. So it's the cooling things. If it's in the left hand, you want to warm it up a bit.
Okay, great.
Yeah. And if it's both hands, of course, then you go to the center to do extra clearing in the center.
Okay.
Good question, Madhu. Thank you. Ashwini, you have a question, or Amy?
What did you say, like for both the hands, then in center? I didn't get the last bit.
Yes, so if you're feeling on both hands, then you would try to clear from the central channel.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we just need to like place our right hand on the center?
Yes,
Oh.
exactly.
Okay.
And you can either say affirmations, or when we learn other things to say, or just from your heart, ask for that to be cleared, for any pressure on my heart or on my Swadhisthana to please be cleared. So you're just communicating as whatever you feel from your heart with your Kundalini, because she's your mother wanting to sort everything out for you. So it's a very nice, comforting feeling.
Yes, really very strong vibrations. Very nice.
All strong seekers, everyone here. It's true. Amy, did you have, was that Ashwini or Amy I was talking to?
This is Ami.
Yeah. Oh, Amy, did you have something, a
Yeah.
question?
Today I feel really very good, like my both hands are very cool, and
Nice.
my Sahasra, that area also a little bit cool, but pressure as well.
Yeah. It cleared? It cleared the pressure?
No, still there, pressure also still there.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can do a little bit more massage
Okay.
as well, but that'll clear. That will clear.
Okay.
We'll keep doing foot soaks this week.
Okay.
And, so bring your buckets again tomorrow. So it really works doing this every day. It's such a good thing. So everybody's feeling the benefit of it. So,
Can I ask another question? Of
course.
Does feeling anything on your toes have any significance?
Yeah, you know what? That's all the chakras are represented on the feet as well. So you can analyze which toes are related to which chakra. So some people do feel on their feet. I think we might have a chart of what chakras the feet relate to. I think it's pretty much the fingers are the same as the hands, except two of them are reversed, if I remember correctly. But we'll have a look in the resources section on the 7 series. I'm pretty sure there'll be a chart there with the feet as well. So we can,
I'll check that out.
you can match up which toes you're feeling. So yeah, you know that place, the resources on the 7 series?
Yes, I'll check that section.
Yeah, I'm sure there'll be one there. There's
Okay.
everything there. So how are we feeling? Everyone's feeling good?
Yes.
All right.
Thank you very much, Elaine.
Yeah, thank you everyone for joining. It was really, really good. Oh, yes, Charles has just confirmed there is a chart in the resources. I knew Charles would know for sure. Thanks, Charles.
Yeah, thanks, Charles. I'll check it.
Yeah, the source of everything. Okay, that's great. All right, well, we might, yeah, there's heaps of info in the resources section. So have a look in there. There's lots of things you probably will find interesting. And all right, well, we'll say farewell for now and see you back here same time tomorrow. Thank you, everyone. I'll put the music on for a bit in case anyone wants to keep meditating on. That can also be done. the music back on.
See you tomorrow, Didi.
Bye. See you tomorrow. Thanks for coming.
Bye, Lynn.
Bye.